She said, "You're just a guy who sprays paint on walls. Dylan, that's not art. That's vandalism." Chloe's words cut through the chatter of her fancy art gallery friends, their wine glasses clinking like they were toasting her insult. We were at this upscale gallery downtown, surrounded by abstract paintings priced like sports cars, and she'd just thrown me under the bus in front of strangers. I stood there, paint-stained hoodie under my jacket, forcing a smile. I paid for my drink, nodded to her stunned friends, and walked out. That night, Chloe showed up at my loft, tears streaming, begging to talk. But Riley, the curator I'd just met, was already there, sketching plans for my next show. Hey, quick shout out to you readers. Over 15% of you are vibing with these stories, and it means everything. If you're new here and dig this vibe, hit that subscribe button. We're pushing for 12,000. Alright, let's dive into this. It's a wild ride, but it's real, and it's messy. I'm Dylan, 26, a graffiti artist. Not the kind who tags random stop signs, but the kind who gets paid to turn blank city walls into murals that stop traffic. I've been with Chloe, 25, for 9 months. She's a gallery assistant at this high-end spot in Soho, New York, always surrounded by real artists with MFAs and pretentious bios. Things were solid at first. I'd paint murals by day, she'd curate exhibits by night, and we'd meet up for cheap tacos or late-night jazz bars. I own a loft in Brooklyn, paid off from a few big commissions. Think corporate offices, music festivals, even a mural for a tech startup's headquarters. Last year, I cleared $180,000. Not bad for a guy who sprays paint on walls. But the last 3 months, Chloe started acting different. It began with little jabs. "Why don't you try painting on canvas, Dylan? You know, like a real artist?" She'd say it half joking, but it stung. She worked around these gallery types guys who sold smudged paint splatters for 6 figures, and suddenly my murals weren't enough. She'd roll her eyes when I talk about a new project, like a 50-foot mural for a community center. "That's cute," she'd say, "but it's not like it's going in a museum." We'd been living together in my loft for 5 months. I bought the place 2 years ago. No mortgage, thanks to a series of festival gigs. Chloe moved in quick, said it was cozy, but kept dropping hints about moving to Manhattan. "All my coworkers live in these sleek condos. Dylan, your place is fine, but it's so Brooklyn." I'd laugh it off. Why rent a shoebox for $4,000 a month when I own this? But she'd get this look, like I was missing some big picture about status. The real trouble started when she got tight with her gallery crew Lila and Tessa, both dating artists who showed at places like Gagosian. Suddenly, Chloe was embarrassed to tell people what I did. "Dylan does urban art," she'd say, like it was a dirty word. One night, she straight up told me, "Why can't you get a normal art job? Like, sell paintings in a gallery or teach at Pratt?" I stared at her. "Chloe, I make more than most of those guys. I'm booked out 8 months. She'd shrug. "It's not about money. It's about perception." I should have ended it then, but I thought she'd snap out of it. Then came the gallery opening last Friday. Chloe texted me, begging me to come to this new exhibit downtown. "It's a big deal, Dylan. Lila and Tessa are bringing their boyfriends. You have to meet them." I wasn't thrilled. Fancy galleries aren't my scene, but I went. Figured I'd support her. Saturday night, I show up at this sleek Soho gallery. Walls lined with overpriced abstracts. Lila and Tessa roll in with their boyfriends, Ethan and Julian, both artists with serious careers. Ethan's got this whole minimalist vibe. Sells white canvases with a single line for $20,000. Julian does installations. Think piles of recycled trash called commentary. Chloe introduces me, voice flat. "This is Dylan. He does street art." The way she said it, you'd think I was spray painting gang signs. Dinner's served at a long table in the gallery's back room. Ethan and Julian are in tailored blazers, talking about their upcoming shows in Chelsea. I'm in my usual jeans, hoodie, jacket, feeling like the odd man out. They ask vague questions about my work. "So, you paint walls?" Ethan says, smirking. Chloe jumps in before I can answer. "Yeah, Dylan does murals for, like, businesses and stuff." She makes it sound like I'm tagging dive bars for beer money. Halfway through, Tessa starts bragging about Ethan's latest sale. He sold a piece to this collector in Dubai for $30,000. It's going to be in Art Basel next year. Chloe's eyes light up. "That's amazing. Dylan and I don't really do stuff like that." I blink at her. "We talked about doing a mural festival in Miami. You said you were excited." She waves it off. "That's not the same, Dylan. That's like public art. It's not prestigious." Julian chimes in, talking about his installation at a gallery in Paris. It's about elevating the discourse. You know? Art should challenge. Lila nods like he's Socrates. Julian's so visionary. It's nice to date someone who gets it. The jab's aimed at me. Chloe doesn't miss a beat. Exactly. Some people just don't understand real art. She's looking right at me. I try to steer it back. Chloe, we've been to plenty of cool spots. That jazz mural I did for the Harlem Club. The rooftop party in Williamsburg. She cuts me off. Those aren't the same. Dylan. They're just local. Local? My murals are in 3 states. I've got a waitlist longer than her gallery's guestbook. Ethan leans in, smirking. So, Dylan, what's your process? Just spray cans and a ladder? Everyone laughs, like I'm some kid doodling on a sidewalk. Chloe doesn't defend me. Instead, she piles on. Yeah, it's not like you're in a gallery. Dylan, you can't just call yourself an artist because you paint walls. The table goes quiet. All eyes are on us. I feel my face heat up, not from embarrassment but from the sheer audacity. My girlfriend, living in my paid-off loft, eating food I buy, just said I'm not a real artist. In front of strangers. Chloe, I say, voice low, maybe we should talk about this later. She doubles down. No, let's talk now. I'm tired of pretending you're something you're not. Pretending? I ask. What's that supposed to mean? She sighs, like I'm exhausting her. Dylan, you're not ambitious. You're happy just vandalizing walls. You can't even satisfy me as an artist, let alone provide a real future. Lila gasps. Tessa sips her wine, eyes wide. Ethan and Julian look like they're watching a reality show. I laugh. Not because it's funny but because it's absurd. You think Ethan and Julian are more successful than me? Chloe scoffs. They have real careers. Dylan. Galleries. Collectors. Respect. I turn to Ethan. What did you make last year? If you don't mind? Chloe snaps. Dylan. Don't. Ethan shrugs. About $50,000. Decent for a young artist. Julian nods. I'm around $60,000. Cool. I say. Chloe, since you think I can't provide, want to know what I made? She glares. Dylan. Stop. I lean back. $180,000. Murals for tech companies. Festivals. City contracts. I'm booked solid for 8 months. The table freezes. Tessa chokes on her wine. That's impossible. Lila says. Nope. I say. Graffiti's big business. Emergency commissions. Public art grants. Private collectors. I've got a piece going up in a London museum next month. Chloe's face turns beet red. Money doesn't make you an artist. She mumbles. You just said I can't provide. Now it's not about money? I signal the waiter. Can I get my check? Chloe's voice softens. Dylan, what are you doing? I calculate my share $15 for a drink and appetizer. Paying for myself and leaving. She grabs my arm. You can't just go. I drop $20 on the table. Watch me. Good luck with the bill. Guys. I walk out. Head high. Feeling like I just shed 150 pounds of dead weight. Back at my loft. I crack a beer and replay the night. Chloe's been living in my place. Using my Wi-Fi. Eating my groceries. And she just told a room full of snobs I'm a wannabe. My phone buzzes at 11 p.m. Text from Chloe. Dylan. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Lila had to cover my share of the bill. I'm getting an Uber home. We need to talk. I don't respond. She shows up at midnight, banging on my door, crying. Dylan. Please. I was stressed. I lock my studio door and crash on the couch. Sunday morning. She's gone. Left a note. Staying at Lila's for a bit. You need to cool off. Cool off? She humiliated me. That afternoon. I'm at a coffee shop in Williamsburg, sketching ideas for a new mural, when I run into Riley. We went to high school together. Lost touch after she moved to Chicago. She's back in New York, curating for a small gallery in Dumbo. Dylan, your murals are insane. She says, scrolling through my Instagram. Why aren't you showing in galleries? I laugh. Guess I'm too busy painting walls. We talk for 2 hours. Art. Life. The hustle. She's real. No pretense. We should grab drinks. She says. We swap numbers. Planned for Tuesday. Monday. Chloe swings by while I'm out. Grabs more of her stuff. Another note. Need space to think. I love you. I toss it. Tuesday. I meet Riley at a dive bar. We talk until closing. Her gallery's struggling, but she's passionate about showcasing raw talent. Your work's raw, Dylan, but it's real. People need to see it. I tell her about Chloe's stunt. She's floored. She said that? In front of people? That's brutal. I shrug. Her loss. Riley grins. Damn right. Wednesday. Riley comes over to my loft. I show her my portfolio photos of murals from Miami to Seattle. She's buzzing. Dylan, let's do a show. Your work deserves a spotlight. I hesitate, galleries aren't my thing, but she's convincing. Not some stuffy Soho vibe. A real exhibit. Street art. Urban energy. I'm in. We start planning. Thursday. Chloe texts. Can we meet? I miss you. I ignore it. Friday. She calls my sister, Mia, who I'm close with. Mia texts me, laughing. Your ex called, crying about how she messed up. I told her you're too good for her nonsense. I grin. Mia's got my back. Saturday. Riley and I hit a street art festival in Bushwick. She's in her element, networking with artists, hyping my work. We grab food after, and she's blunt. Dylan, your stuff's better than half the gallery art I see. Chloe's an idiot. I laugh, feeling lighter than I have in months. When I drop Riley off, she leans in, kisses my cheek. See you tomorrow, mural guy. My heart skips. First time I felt that spark since Chloe. The next Friday, a week after the gallery disaster, I'm in my studio, prepping for a commission, when the doorbell rings. I think it's Riley. She's coming over to finalize our exhibit plans. I open the door, and there's Chloe, eyes puffy, dragging 2 suitcases. Dylan, thank God. I've been thinking all week. I can fix this. I cross my arms. Fix what? She steps closer. I was wrong. I'm so sorry. Before I can respond, Riley's car pulls up. She hops out, carrying a laptop and a bottle of wine. Hey, Dylan. Ready to? She stops. Seeing Chloe. Chloe's eyes narrow. Who's this? I don't hesitate. Riley. My girlfriend. Chloe's jaw drops. Your girlfriend? It's been a week. Riley steps forward, unfazed. Hi, I'm Riley, curator. You must be the ex who thinks murals aren't art. Chloe stammers. Dylan, we lived together. You can't just. I cut her off. You moved out. You made your choice. Riley sets her stuff down, gives me a quick kiss. I brought wine. Should we start planning the show? I nod. Chloe, you should go. Chloe's crying now. Dylan, I love you. I was stupid. I shake my head. You didn't love me. You loved the idea of me fitting your image. I'm done. She stands there, suitcases in hand, then loads them into her Uber and leaves. Riley and I go inside. She's curious but chill. What was that about? I tell her the whole story. She shakes her head. She's delusional. Your work's incredible. You built this from nothing. We spend the night sketching ideas for the exhibit, a street art takeover in a Dumbo warehouse. It's the most excited I've been in years. 6 weeks later, our show's a hit. Over 500 people show up, from local kids to art collectors. A gallery in London buys one of my pieces for $200,000. Riley's by my side, hyping me up, telling everyone I'm the real deal. Chloe? I hear she got fired from the gallery for botching a big sale. Last I heard, she's selling doodles on Etsy, barely scraping by. Funny how it works. She chased real art and ended up with nothing, while I'm building a legacy with someone who gets it. The whole thing taught me something. Some people care more about how things look than what they actually mean. Chloe wanted a boyfriend who fit her gallery friend's aesthetic, even if it meant throwing away someone who had her back. Now she's struggling, while I'm with Riley, who sees my murals for what they are, art that moves people. Sometimes, the best way to move forward is to let people face the consequences of their own choices.